Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping in. I sure appreciate it. And I am back with part 2 of my Sephora haul. Okay, little bit of transparency. So the first product I have here is the Fenty Beauty We're Even Concealer. So I'm very excited to try this, but in full transparency, I did not get this at Sephora. Initially, my order came with the palette and I ordered the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. The wrong shade. It was the wrong shade. I went to several Sephoras because they kept sending me from one location to the other to get the right one. Ended up not working out. It's a whole thing. I was extremely unhappy by the end of it. So I ended up at Ulta, and Ulta didn't have the shade I needed either in the High Glam, but we did test this one out, and I thought, you know what? I've never tried a Fenty Beauty product. We're going to give this a shot. So although initially I did have a concealer in my Sephora order, I ended up with an Ulta order, which is fine. More points for me, right? But the product I did actually get from Sephora that did come in is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 palette. Another all matte palette. Yes. Again, I don't care. It is so stunning that I don't want to use it. Like, look at this. Look at this. Just look at it. Just take a minute. Just breathe. Look at it. It's just, very reflective with my lights too, but I opened that and it took my breath away. I was like, oh my gosh, she is just the epitome of excellence. So I need to do it. So since my Mario palette was a little more neutral / cool leaning, we're going to go with the warm row today. So we're just going to dive right into this look. I have my base products done, everything except my eyes and my under eye concealer. So we'll do that when we're done with the eye look. I'll link everything I'm wearing down below, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going with this one in the crease. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it, but I also really want to touch it. Okay, it's been touched. Here we go. Okay, definitely right off the bat, she is way more pigmented than the Makeup by Mario palette. Trying to be gentle because she is so pigmented. But yeah, so leaning a little more warm today because it is warm outside. Dude, we're going to be seeing 95 this week. 95. I tested out my air conditioning last night just to make sure. She's a bit noisy, but she works, thank goodness. Yeah, trying to get your AC serviced in Arizona is impossible. So I've already put in a request just for a regular servicing. And they are booked out till July. So, and in case you don't know what day it is April, mid-April right now. So, and I called 4 different companies. So I just was like, okay. So definitely a way more pigmented, blendable, everything I expected her to be. I am still dealing with some eczema flare up here. It's going away, so I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so we just have some nice warm wash of color. Because I do want to touch as many shades as possible, I am going to go into this one right here and just deepen the crease up just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just use a slightly smaller brush. Not as much kick up as the Mario palette, but there is some. Just letting you know, kick up doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, it does happen. It does exist in this one. Done. I'm happy. Moving on. I'm afraid to go into the creams today for a base. I'm just gonna be real, I'm too afraid. So I'm just gonna go into the deepest brown right here and do that as my outer corner color, my deepening color. I gotta move quick today, y'all. I'm doing this on my lunch break. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm doing this on my lunch break. So I am not trying to do anything crazy today. I just really wanted to play with this. I've had it for a couple days now, and I have no patience. Patience is not a virtue for me. So I'm just kind of packing this in here. I thought my eczema was going to give me a bit of a break today, but it's not. It's not. It's okay. It's all right. I should be used to this by now. I'm going into this last color right here in the deeper side, this one right here. And I'm just gonna kind of buff out that deeper outer corner and start working towards the middle of my lid so we can use that lightest cream shade. Like I said, just trying to use up every color here. I can certainly see though why that cream shade would be really beneficial, because there are days, like today is okay, but I do like a much deeper outer corner than what that deep brown gave me, which again, it's perfectly fine for right now. But when I have a little more time to play with my makeup, like today I've got to go see a bunch of people and I got to be presentable. So yeah, but yeah, that color did a great job of blending out that really rough patch I had right there. And I'm freaking loving this. So now I'm going to go into the last shade here on the top, this one right, or technically it's the first shade, but last one for me to use, this one right here. So for me, I could definitely see this being a more dramatic, more pigmented palette for me when I want an all matte look, but I want some like payoff. But I could see the Mario palette being more of my like, I just want something soft and cute and casual. So even though I have both of them now, I have no regrets whatsoever. But they definitely have their place and their purpose. And I love it. They were pricey. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. So here's where we're at right now, guys. Loving, super pretty, super soft. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line right now. I get so many messages on Instagram because people are afraid to comment on my YouTube. Guys, please feel free to comment. I apologize if anyone's ever said or did anything to you that's made you uncomfortable to comment. I can also say I've been there before. I've been in that not wanting to comment position, and I'm sorry that someone has made you feel that way. I'm also totally okay with, I'm taking the deepest brown to line the bottom. But anyways, the point of that was someone was DMing me on Instagram with a question about one of my YouTube videos. And they were asking me, I've gotten this quite a bit lately, actually, which is interesting. But they were asking when I do my lower lash line, like at the same time as my full eye look, instead of doing it like after my base and concealer and everything. I don't know. I didn't realize that was really a thing. Like I see YouTubers doing it, but I'm kind of I focus on one section at a time. So I like to do my entire eye look and then move on to base. Except for instances like this where we're testing products out. I'm taking this second shade right here and just buffing that out just a little bit further, so it's not too warm. But I am going to go ahead and throw on mascara, and then we'll be right back to place the last piece of my new makeup product, which is my Fenty concealer. Be right back. Okay guys, I am back. Here is what the finished eye look looks like. I really love this. The mascara I used today is Essence Lash Princess. I do love my Believe Beauty. We talked about it in the previous video. I'm learning though, it just doesn't give me the longevity. After a couple hours, it starts to not look as nice as it initially did on application. And I've got a really long day ahead of me. So I use this because I do know this gives me the longevity that I need today. Oh, here is what my finished eye look looks like. I've got some weird, like, it almost looks like horns or something on my eyelashes today. I'm not sure what is going on there. I tried and messed and tried and messed and tried and messed. It's not playing today, and neither am I. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and throw my concealer on. That's the last part of today. I don't even necessarily look like I need concealer, but we're going to try it. So the shade that I got shade matched in store with is 150N. If you're newer here, I am a fair to light with neutral, warm leaning undertones. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. So here is what the doe foot looks like. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I'll put this down. I'm sure you've seen this already. I don't use very much concealer because I feel like too much. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be... Now, let me finish that thought. I'm terrible at that. Starting a thought, not finishing it. I don't use a lot of concealer. This is the max I use. I have very sallow, thin skin under my under eyes, this is all I need. I will say that this is a brightening concealer. That is the point of this, because all the shades just seemed super, super light when I was in there for my skin tone. But then I was reading some of the details on the box and online, and it's considered a brightening formula. So this is the closest shade match for me. I'm just a little concerned that it might be... That looks kind of nice. But you know, if you get like a shade that's too light, it can look kind of gray sometimes. That's what I'm afraid of. That is what I'm afraid of, it looking like gray. But I know that when I got shade matched, the next shade in neutral was too dark. I think it might be good once I get a little bit more of a tan. I don't think it's that bad, actually. I think it actually looks pretty good. I typically don't like brightening. I like it to just match my skin tone, but that ain't so bad. What do you guys think? And it feels good and it looks good, because I know when I was shade matched in Ulta, I wore it home, and by the time I got home, I was like, hey, this looks and feels pretty good. It is a hydrating concealer. Let's see. Hydrating long wear concealer. So yeah, there you go. All right, guys, so here is my final look for today. I love how quick it was to build this eye look. So for me, the biggest difference between, let's see, let's just talk a little bit about everything, shall we? Okay. I'm a little sad I didn't use the creams today. That's definitely an eyeliner thing for me. But like I said, I'm just kind of in a hurry. Wanted to keep things just kind of natural and easygoing today because I have a lot to do, a lot of people to see. So I will use this as a liner, definitely, for sure. But for me, the biggest difference between these two, if you are wondering, you know, Patrick Ta, Makeup by Mario, outside of the price, is for me the pigmentation. That's the biggest one. These are going to give you very different levels of pigmentation. Just from this first use, I've used this once and I've used this once, and immediately off the bat, the pigmentation is the biggest one. Also, this one gives you a warm row, and this gives you a more neutral, cool leaning row. This one is pretty much all neutral or cool-ish leaning as well. So if you like the option, because guys, I literally sat down and did a whole list trying to decide which one to buy. The pros and cons of each one. Obviously, I ended up buying both because I have no willpower. But for me, I have a place in my collection for both of these, if I can stop stuttering. For me, the Patrick Ta is going to be a winner for days like today where I want that classy matte look, but I don't have time to sit around and build it up for 20, 30 minutes. So that's when my Patrick Ta is going to come out and do its thing. And then there's days where I've got some extra time. I just want to be me. I just want to play with makeup for a little bit. I do have the extra time to blend and play. That's where Mario is going to come into play. Also, if I need warmer ones, I've got Patrick Ta. If I want cooler, more neutrals, I can go into Mario. So for me, I'm ecstatic to have both of these in my collection. Do you necessarily need both? No, I don't think so, but I want both, so I have both. But yeah, so, and then so far, Fenty, I was very nervous about the shade match. It almost looks like it's, I don't want to say oxidized. It's not necessarily changing colors, but maybe it's just the fact that it's melting into my skin. I feel like this looks really quite wonderful. I was worried that it was so light that it was going to look gray and ashy on me. I don't think it does right now. I think it's doing exactly what it said. It's hydrating. I think it did a great job. It is brightening, but I don't feel like it's an incorrect shade match. I do feel really good about that. So yay, I am so happy. Success. Hey guys, editing Michaela jumping in here. I decided I want to show you this because I am just so utterly impressed with the Fenty concealer. So I have changed my shirt. I'm a klutz and spilled something on the other one. Here's back up. I can't do it. But you can see my eyeshadow looks really great, but I'm here for the concealer. I'm going to bring you guys in nice and close. It has been Let's see, I did this on my lunch break and it's 9 p.m. So it's been at least 9.5 hours. And I just wanted to show you my under eyes and that Fenty concealer. Wow. Like, I am thoroughly impressed. Again, I just put the concealer just like right here and then tapped it out. So there is some creasing in here, but that's 100% expected because I have wrinkles. It's gonna crease there. But the wear of this one, you can see some discoloration in here, but I mean, we're on 9 hours and this just looks amazingly great. Amazingly great. I'm just super, super impressed with it, and it feels really great. Usually by like the 6 or 8 hour mark, most of my concealers are getting kind of like scaly looking and crusty looking. I've never had a concealer look this smooth at this point in the day. And they feel so just nice. I'm impressed. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that the Mario and Patrick Ta comparison can help you if maybe you're a little on the fence. But yeah, I sure appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will catch you in my next one. Later much.